Hey guys, hope all's going good. Today's video is going to be 10.7. This is the only section we're going to do in Chapter 10. Chapter 10 is our circle units. That's one of the ones we're passing and we're not going to do because of the time constraints we have with this online learning. We did feel it was important to cover this section, however, because there is bound to be a question on your ACT and or your SAT, at least one question on equations of circles, which is what this is, and you are for sure not going to cover it in Algebra 2. For those of you that are going to take pre-calc, you probably will cover it in pre-calc. I'm not for sure, but I know you're not going to cover it in Algebra 2, and that's what most of you are going to be taking. So this is 10.7. All right, so the standard equation of a circle is right here, okay? And the reason this is the standard equation of a circle is because it automatically gives you your center, which is HK, and your radius, which is R. Get that right there. Okay, so anytime you want to find the standard equation of a circle, all you need is your center and your radius, and you can give that standard equation. So here's an example here. We want to write the standard equation of this circle over here. All right, now first of all, we need two things. We need the center and we need the radius. Well, the center's right here. Okay, so we could easily say that the center is at the origin. Ooh. Okay, and now the radius, if we count, is 1, 2, 3. So I can say the radius is 3. So when I go to write the standard equation of a circle, it'd be x minus, notice here it's x minus h. If you don't know what your h is, all you have to do is look here. Your h is the x coordinate of your center. So here it's 0 squared, which I'm going to make that a superscript. And then it's going to be plus y minus my k, which is the y value of my center. So this is also 0 squared. And that's going to equal my r squared, and my r is 3. So 3 squared is just 9. So this would be the standard equation of a circle. If you wanted to rewrite this and make it a little cleaner, guys, x minus 0 is just x, so x squared, plus y minus 0 is just y squared equals 9. So this here would be your answer. Or I'm sure Big Ideas would accept this up here as well. All right, so let's do one here when we don't have a picture. So we want a circle with a center of 0, -9, and a radius of 4.2. So we're going to look up here, and we have our center at 0, -9. Well, we see our center is our h and our k. So we're going to make this our h and this our k. Our x value of our center is always our h, y value is always our k. And then clearly, this is our r. Okay, so to write the equation of this circle, it'd be parentheses, x minus h, and notice our h is 0, and that's squared. Let's put that up. Plus, ooh, we don't need that up. Plus, and then it's y minus rk. Rk is our y value of our center, which is -9. And that's going to be squared as well. And that's going to equal my r squared. So 4.2, oops, 4.2, and then I'm going to square it. So now, if I want to clean this up some, x minus 0, guys, is just x, so x squared, plus y minus a negative 9 is a y plus 9 minus a negative is a plus squared equals, put in my calculator, 4.2 squared is 17.64. And this would be your answer. All right, so now let's go to example 2. Here, it tells us that -5, -6, or -5, +6, is on the circle, and we know that -1, 3 is our center. Well, that automatically tells us that our h is -1. So our h is -1 and our k is 3. Center is hk, so -1, 3. So -1 is your h, 3 is your k. And then our radius, well, we don't know. That's what we have to find. All right, so this is on the circle. This is the center. So could we form this little right triangle here? Okay, and the reason we did that is because if we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, this side is 4. 1, 2, 3, this side is 3. Now, couldn't I use Pythagorean theorem to find this side? And notice this side is your radius. So we'll just do 3 squared plus 4 squared equals r squared. It's the radius squared. Okay, 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. That's going to equal r squared. Well, guys, 9 plus 16 is 25. To undo a square, you do the square root. So square root of 25, you get r is 5. Okay, so we have our h, we have our k, and then we have our r is 5. All right, so now let's put this into the standard equation of a circle. All right, I'm just going to copy this down here. Okay, well, my h, guys, is -1. My k is 3. And my r is 5. Okay, well, if I clean this up, I would just get x minus a -1 is a +1. That's a plus, not a times. Let me fix it real quick. This is a +1 plus y minus 3 squared equals 5 squared is 25. This would be my answer. All right, one more example. So, prove or disprove that the point square root of 2 lies on the circle centered at the origin and contains the point 2, 0. All right, well, let's think of this. For now, let's not worry about the prove or disprove part. Let's just worry about finding the equation of a circle. We know it's centered at the origin, and we know it contains the point 2, 0. So the circle would look something like that. It's kind of a bad circle, but you guys get the point. Well, clearly, our center is at the origin, so our center is at 0, 0. And our radius is, well, if 2 zeros on the circle, it has to be 2. Okay, so 0 is our h, 0 is our k, and our r is 2. So if I rewrite this, okay, so h is always the x value of our center, which is 0. K is always the y value of our center, which our center's at the origin, so it's still 0. And our radius here, if our center is 0, 0, and it goes through 2, 0, our radius has to be 2. So if I rewrite this, I would just have x, well, x minus 0, guys, is just x, so x squared plus y minus 0 is just y squared equals 4. Okay, so this would be the equation of this circle. Now I can go back and I can find, does this circle have square root of 2 on it? So if this does, I can plug in square root of 2 is my x value, square root of 2 is my y value, and this equation works out. So let's check it. So I plug in this square root of 2 for my x, so it'd be square root of 2 squared plus this square root of 2 in for my y, 2, come on, squared. Does that equal, I'm going to put a question mark because we don't know, 4. If it does equal 4, this point lies on the circle. If it does not equal 4, then this point does not lie on the circle. Okay? So square root of 2 squared, guys, is just 2. Remember, the square and the square root are inverses, so they kind of get rid of each other. Plus square root of 2 squared, once again, the squared and the square root get rid of each other, so we're just left with 2. Does that equal 4? Yes, it does. So yes, this point does lie on the circle. And when we say prove or disprove, we just proved it algebraically. We don't need to prove it by writing a proof. I'm sure that makes you feel a little bit better. All right, that's it for 10-7. Your homework is online. Please let me know if you have any questions.